Hi guys. So today, of course, I want to talk about the sad news of the murder of Rob and his wife Michele Reiner um, being butchered, murdered by their flesh and blood people, flesh and blood, their young son, Nick Reiner. So, according to TMZ, they were beaten with a blunt object, beaten and then having their throats um, slit. So this was horrible. He must have been, Nick must have been in a rage to do that to his parents. So I'm gonna tell you what I believe happened and why he was in such a rage, why he killed his parents, and also I wanna play for you a few clips. I believe there were some red flags on these clips, so yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay.
I mean, he's my son. I love him. It doesn't matter. None of that. He's more important than anything that could happen to
Wow.
me.
Wow. Here is what I believe happened. Okay. This is my theory. What I believe happened. I believe that Nick, he wanted money to buy drugs. He wants money to provide his drugs to feed his addiction. He went to the parents, asked them for money, they suspected that what he was going to do with the money, and they refused to give him the money. And they probably asked him, well, you're going to have to leave the guest house to go back to rehab. And the word rehab, after spending 18 times in rehabs, I believe this word has a negative impact on him. And when the parents probably said, yes, you need to go back to rehab, it triggered the monster in him. So what did he do? He found some big blunt object in the house, and he started to bludgeon his parents to death with the object. And then to make sure that they died, he in the end slit their throats. This is what I believe happened. If he was in rage, I believe he had enough. I believe resentment, hate for years, all these things that were building inside of him came crashing down this past Sunday at the Reiner's house. He cold bloodedly murdered his parents for money. I believe this is what happened. And people, this is so sad to see for the parents. They've witnessed, they've witnessed their son that they loved, that they cared for, that they raised, uh, are murdering him, and they are powerless against him. There is nothing they could do to stop him. Nothing. Can you imagine the shock to see your flesh and blood doing this to you? Your flesh and blood? And I can imagine right before, right before Michelle took her last breath, she went back. She went back to September 14, 1993, the day that she gave birth to this guy. That day, who was supposed to be one of the best days of her life. You know, the day that she gave birth to his beloved son, instead of being one of the best days of her life. But in fact, it was the day that she gave birth to her murderer. September 14, 1993 was the day Michelle Reiner gave birth to her murderer and her husband's murderer. That is the saddest, saddest, saddest story. He could have, like, I don't know, take a gun, shot them while they are sleeping, so they won't have to witness their son killing them. This was horrible, horrible to witness that as parents. Oh my God. Yeah. And Rob Reiner, listen, you can see, like, he seemed like a loving father. I do believe that. He doesn't look like someone that was bad, that was a bad father. I think it's all about money, and it's money for the drugs. That is what I believe. I believe he killed his parents because he needed money for the drugs. That's my belief. I don't know that for a fact, but this is my belief. And I love a lot of his movies. Princess Bride, when Harry Met Sally, are amongst my favorite movies. And I also like A Few Good Men. I like Stand By Me. So, I mean, this is so sad. They didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve it. I hope the rest in peace. And for their murderer, their flesh and blood, their son, well, I hope he gets what he deserves. Let's continue watching.
You went to, how many times did you go to rehab? You said, is it 18 times?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But it had to come from you. So what was rock bottom?
There wasn't one. It's all rock bottom. It all sucked.
When did you, what made you finally make it not a 19th?
I got just sick of it. I mean, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't get sick after 5 of them, but I mean, after 18, I was like, okay, I'm pretty bored of this.
And I made mistakes in that I didn't go with my gut instinct and the feel. And I know Nick better than, some expert who's never met him. And I think had I listened to my own instincts, I would have done a lot better by Nick. But, you do what you do. You're a parent and you think, here's my kid running out into the street, he's going to get hit by a truck, or you want to keep him safe. So you do what they tell you. You feel you're at their mercy. But what I feel after all of this is it's not about punishing. If somebody has, is struggling and has difficulties, you don't punish them for that. And I think a lot of these programs feel like, the kid is being punished. And I don't think that's a great way to go. I mean, how do you feel about it?
First of all, at 14, he already did rehab. 14 years old. 14 years old. So he started early. His addiction started very, very, very early. And 18 times, that's a lot of times. A lot of times. So this kid this person spent most of his life in rehab. Wow. I wonder how did it start? How did it start, people? How did it start at 14 years old? So it has to be with people he was hanging out with at school. This is where he got addicted, because I don't believe it's at home. I don't believe that. And also, what this is the mistake I believe the parents made. What Rob just said here. At some point, they stopped to listen to professionals because they were telling him he had to be tougher with the kid. So they stopped rehab because Nick was telling them that he couldn't. He didn't need rehab. He only needs them to take care of him, and he would be okay. I think it was a big mistake not to continue to listen to professionals, and got him out of rehab and took him in. I think this was a huge mistake. They should have continued listen to professionals and not believe that this kid can end his addiction by himself, or they could end his addiction. Impossible. Impossible. So I believe that was a mistake. Let's continue watching.
About it, Nick?
About what part
About what I was just saying about the idea of the tough love and all of that stuff.
I'm here, so it worked.
But
you weren't like cold like that. He was very loving and compassionate. I just think that he didn't really know what to do.
How do you manage it now? Do you go to AA meetings regularly? And
I found that those weren't as helpful for me as things like staying active and replacing not just
He didn't believe that AA meeting was helpful. He needed to go to the AA meetings. He needed to. You cannot decide by yourself, and addict decides by themselves. Yeah, I don't need a meeting. I'm fine. I'm gonna do something else. They all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. This was a huge mistake as well. Not to force him to, at least, okay, I can understand they didn't wanna send him back to rehab, but they should have. They should have forced him to go to the AA meetings. For sure, he should have gone. For sure.
Replacing the activity that you were doing before with stuff that's healthier, like working out, if you can afford it, going to a therapist, as well as like, having a good, support group of friends. I have that, which is lucky, and not everybody has that. And I have some supportive parents.
And you also found work that you like. I mean, you found his writing, and that's something that, he likes to do, and he works with his friends doing that.
So guys, there you have it. I think the parents got fooled by him, and they took him out of rehab. They took him under their wings, and so he relapsed. I believe he relapsed, and lied to the parents for a good while before they noticed that he had relapsed. Okay, so people, yeah. Anywho, guys, do let me know in the comment section what you think of this story, how sad it is. I mean, it is horrible, 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 horrible. I can't say it enough. Anywho, guys, that's it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.